Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, guys. So today's video is one that you guys have been asking me to speak on, even though I have been trying really hard not to speak about it. So just a quick heads up, every pregnancy is different, every labor and delivery is different. So do not think that what happened to me during this time or during that time is going to happen to you, because there's a very big chance that it might not. But yeah, we're going to be speaking about Kaylee's birth story, how she came into this world. But yeah, so let's get started. So around 3:30 in the morning, August 5th, I had a really sharp pain on my side, and I couldn't get out of bed. And I tapped my husband, like, babe, I have a sharp pain, I have to get up, and I can't get up. So he lifted me, and the second that I got out of bed, I stood up, I saw little trickles of water coming down my thigh, my inner thigh, and I knew it wasn't pee because it was clear, but it had like a white substance with it, like it was like milky kind of. It was weird. So I told my husband, I'm like, babe, I think my water just broke. And he's like, why? What happened? What is it? Why? Why do you think that? And I'm just like, look, like I'm showing him. And he's like, oh my God, it's time. Let's go. We gotta go to the hospital. Let's go. It's time. So I'm like, okay, it's time. I was super calm. He was like all riled up. So I come into I'm like waddling, leaving little trickles behind to come into the living room to to wake up my mom, because she was sleeping over at the time, because that day, August 4th, that whole morning, that whole day actually, I was feeling contractions. And I told my mom, I think my water's gonna break. I think the baby's coming tonight, so please sleep over. Because I wanted my mom and my husband in my delivery room. So she came, she stepped over, whatever. So when I came into the living room, she was already up. She's like, I heard it, it's go time, let's go, let's get up, let's go. So I'm like, okay, great. Everyone's ready. I was calm. It was weird, like I was super calm. So I go to the bathroom, I clean myself, I get myself dressed, I grab my bag, and I go out the house to wait for them. And I'm just standing there like, can we go? I'm like, can we leave? Like, and I start feeling a lot of pressure, TMI, on my butt. I felt so much pressure on my booty. I was like, oh my God, like, is she coming right now? Like, why do I feel so much pressure? And all I hear while I'm standing outside is my husband's like, where's my bag? Where are my boxers? Where's my shirt? Where's this? Where's that? And I'm just like, this is why I told you to have your bag ready, because you never know when it's gonna happen. But whatever, homeboy pulled himself together and we ended up going to the hospital. I lived like 10 minutes away from the hospital, so we got there pretty quickly. They checked me, we did valet parking, and then they checked me in right away. They checked to see if it was really my water, if it was pee, which turned out to be my water that broke. And then they put me in the room where I was gonna give birth. They had checked me, I was 3 centimeters dilated at that time. So my doctor comes and, they give me the IV, they give me all these things, and she has me laying in bed for now, for that time. I was still laying in bed. And I was feeling little contractions, but nothing that I couldn't handle, but it wasn't horrible, but it was still annoying. It was like period cramps. So I don't really remember the times, but I do remember at one point she was like, we're gonna have you walk around now, let's start getting this stuff going. Let's see how fast we can get you open while you're walking and stuff. So we started walking around the hospital, and with every contraction I felt, I would lean on my husband and I would sway back and forth. And I say this with everyone, my husband really, really, really did a good job. Like, he really surprised me with how well he took care of me, with how well he tended to me, with how well he was just amazing. Like, he really surprised me. I really thought that he was going to be the type to just sit in a corner and just be super silent and like didn't know what to do, like be nauseous or something, but he wasn't that at all. He was really hands-on. He really asked me like whatever I needed. He was there. He assisted really well. Like, babe, I love you for that. Like, you were amazing. But yeah, so we're walking around, and every contraction, we would stop and would sway back and forth. and he would massage my back, and he would walk with me. It was really heavy. My belly was really low, so it was really uncomfortable to walk. But we walked for a while until I felt like my contractions were getting too intense. When they got too intense, I was like, we need to go inside the room again, because I'm gonna start yelling. Like, my moans, they teach you like how to breathe, how to get through the pain. And I was like, my breathing is gonna get really loud, so we should go back into the room before I scare anybody else on the floor. So we went back to the room, and they had me sit on the rocking chair, which was kind of uncomfortable because it was really hard. So with every contraction I did get while I was on the rocking chair, I stood up. I once again was on my husband, and my mom was behind me. She was rubbing my back, which was great. And then they brought me the ball, the big yoga ball, and I was just, excuse me, I was not with it. I was like, I'm gonna either roll off of this ball or I'm gonna pop it. Like, I didn't feel like the ball was gonna protect me at all. Like, it was not sturdy enough, I felt like. So I wasn't really on the ball for that long. But we were there for a while, and then she came back in and she checked me again, and I still hadn't dilated anything. So she was like, she's like, we need to keep you walking. We need to keep you, we need to keep you moving. So I'm just like, oh, like, they were really, like, the contractions at this point, from a 1 to a 10, I want to say they were like a 6. So it was really uncomfortable for me at that point, and I cannot handle pain at all. So it was really bothering to me. But it was bothersome to me. Whatever, it was annoying. The pain was bad. So, we're walking and we're moving. I'm walking around the room and whatever, and my husband is trying to encourage me to keep moving, and it was just so bad to the point I was like, I can't keep walking. I just want to lay down. Like, I don't want to walk anymore. Just leave me in the bed and let my body do what it has to do, because me trying to force things, it's not working. Like, when you're in labor, I feel like ultimately what your body needs. Like, women know, like, the intuition that women have is ridiculous. So I lay down. My mom is making phone calls. At this point, my brothers come and they see me, and my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law was in the room, and who is Kaylee's godmother, Ileana. She comes in the room, and I remember I was like, I have to pee. I have to go to the bathroom. So her and my husband, they helped me get up. And this is when it's like the movies. Exactly how they say in the movies. Once I got up, it was like a gush of water, just like, I don't even know, like, from where, but it was like, psh, like, all over the place, just shoot it out of me. I was like, holy crap, I'm just standing there, and I didn't even know what to do, and the only thing that came out of my mouth was, I think I just peed on myself. But it was so much water, like, it was crazy. So my sister-in-law was like trying to make me feel better. She's like, it's okay, it happens, don't worry. And in my mind, I'm like, this is not normal. Do not tell me this is okay, this is weird. And she's cleaning me up, and my husband's cleaning me up, and my husband, I'm like, okay, well, I still have to go to the bathroom. I still have to pee. So I knew that it wasn't pee. I think it was just the rest of the water that I had coming out. So at that point, I was already like in active labor. So I go to the bathroom, I pee, and I come back, and that's when the contractions started getting intense. I had asked my husband, I was like, can you please tell the doctor, the nurse, that I need an epidural now, because I can't take it anymore. Like, now they were at like a 7, like a 7, 8, a 7 or an 8, and it was so intense. The anesthesiologist ended up coming. He came pretty quickly, and he was trying to check to see whatever he was doing back there. And I was very grateful that he allowed my husband to stay in the room with me, because I know some hospitals don't do that. Like, the women have to be by themselves. But he did allow my husband to be there. So I'm hunched over, my husband's in front of me or whatever, and he's just like talking to me or whatever, trying to distract me, because I don't like needles. So the anesthesiologist, he pokes me and I feel it, and he's like, oh, I gotta do it again. Yo. I hated that anesthesiologist so much. You have no freaking idea. Like, I dislike that man. OMG. He took it out, he put it in again, and I guess this time he did it right. So he was done, and he was like, okay, you're gonna start feeling numbness now on your legs and whatever. I was numb from here down. And he's like, whenever you need more, you know, if you feel like it's starting to wear off, just press the button and more, whatever it is, more medicine will be released and you'll feel more at ease. I was like, okay, cool. So I don't know if it was the epidural or the fact that I wasn't eating, but like an hour later, 2 hours later, I started throwing up. So every time I threw up, the epidural would wear off little by little. So at one point, I was like I had no epidural at all. I was feeling all the freaking contractions and it was really painful. So my husband goes back out and he tells the doctor, he's like, you know, she needs another epidural. The epidural is not working. The doctor calls for the anesthesiologist again and he comes back and he's like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it again. He's like, I'm really sorry, but I need to poke you again because there's no reason as to why you don't feel it. Because you don't even have that long. It hasn't been that long that I gave it to you. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, do whatever you gotta do. Just get these freaking pain out of me. Like, I don't want to feel any pain anymore. So I get up again, and once again, he does this stupid thing. He does what he has to do, and he gives me an epidural. I'm laying in bed, and you know, at this point, I'm all right. I'm able to relax a little bit. Everything is okay, and then I start throwing up again. And this time it was just a lot of throw up. Like I just kept throwing up maybe every 5 minutes. And again, with every time I threw up, the epidural wore off. So at one point it was gone. Like there was no epidural anymore. Oh, like just thinking about it. And I'm doing this again, y'all. We're doing this again. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm crazy. But anyway, so I'm feeling all of the contractions again, and I couldn't take the pain. They have a monitor which monitors the baby's heart rate, your heart rate, and the contractions. And it was so bad, the contractions, like I couldn't take it anymore. My heart rate was decreasing. And at that point, you know, I think I was probably 8 centimeters dilated, or I don't really remember, but it was really bad. What I do remember is at one point, my husband went out to get the doctor, and when he came back in, it was a whole team of people. It was the doctor and a whole bunch of nurses, and they were trying to figure out what to do because my heart rate was really low. It was really bad. And my mom told the doctor, she's like, can you please just give her C-section because I can't see her like this. She looks like she's not gonna make it. And the doctor told my mom, if I give her a C-section, she's not gonna make it. So I need to do my best to keep her alive. Please just let me do my job. At that point, the doctor tells me, I'm gonna give you another epidural. I didn't know there was 2 different epidurals. There's one for when women give birth vaginally, and then there's another one for when women are gonna have C-sections. So she said, I'm gonna give you another epidural. This one is gonna be a little stronger. I'm out of it. At this point, I'm in just so much pain. I don't hear anyone. I don't see anyone. I'm just trying my best to cope with the pain, cope with the contractions. She's like, I need you to sit up again. So I'm up, and my contractions were skyrocketing to the point where my husband is like, oh my God, is this normal? And I'm here like thinking of every single bad word like you can think of. And I'm like, my nigga, like really right now? Like for real? Like for real, for real? Like you serious? And they were just so bad. And I remember, you know, the anesthesiologist, he's poking me back there while I'm having a contraction. And all I yell is, oh my God, what is he doing? I was like, what is he doing? Like, he's taking forever. And it just hurt so bad. At that point, from a scale from 1 to 10, it was literally, I kid you not, like a 50. It was really bad. And he gives me whatever he's giving me. The room is filled with doctors and nurses trying to figure out what the hell to do for me, hoping that this works. That when he's done, I literally collapse. Like, I'm gone. Like, my husband was in front of me and the doctor was like right. So I'm here on the bed, my husband is here, and the doctor's like a couple feet away from us. She's right there. And I just collapse into my, like, my head just falls into my husband's arms and I'm out. And my husband was like, what is happening? Like, what do we do? What just happened? Is she okay? Like, he's panicking at this point. And my doctor assures him, she's like, that means it worked. Lay her back down and let her body do what it has to do. Let's hope for the best. When she says, like, I'm out of it, but when I hear her say, let's hope for the best, and all I can think of is, like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it. I'm like, this is crazy. My heart rate is decreasing. I can't breathe. In which point they come and they bring me an oxygen mask, because it was just hard to breathe at that point. And my mom is sitting, and that's when my husband officially left me alone. He just went to sit, and I remember telling my mom, I was like, Mom, don't be afraid, but I see Grandma. And I was like, I see Grandma and I see a man. She's like, what? What do you mean you see Grandma? I'm like, I see Abuela, which is her mom. And I saw my grandma on top of me, and she was literally on me. Not laying, but she was like on her knees, she was on me. And I remember like she had these thick bottle cap glasses on, and you know, and I remember her hands being on my stomach. And I remember her looking at the guy that was there, the man that was there. And the man was just rubbing my forehead. Like, his thumb was like I don't know how to explain it, but he was rubbing my forehead. And my grandma looked like, she kept looking at him, and he just was like so peaceful and so calm. But I didn't know who the man was. You know, I told my mom, I was like, I see Grandma and I see a man. And at that point, my mom left, and she went to my mother-in-law. And they told me after, my mother-in-law told me after, she was like, your mom was crying because she thought you were leaving. She thought you were gonna die, and that your grandma had come to get you or something. And after that, I just remembered closing my eyes, and I just fell asleep. So shortly after, the doctor comes and she's like, let's check to see how far along you are. And I was already 10 centimeters dilated. At this point, it was 5:45, 5:30, 5:40, something like that. And she's like, okay, you're 10 centimeters dilated. Let's see how good you push. And within an hour, the baby should be here. And in my mind, excuse me, I was like, an hour? I was like, I don't have an hour. Like, I need to push her out right now, because if not, I'm gonna die. Like, I literally felt like I was going to die. So, the nurse wasn't even in her, like, she didn't have a gown on or whatever they wear, you know, the clothes that they wear for when they're gonna deliver a baby. She wasn't even ready yet. So she you know, I'm up, you know, she has me scoop my legs up, and she's like, okay, push. She wanted me to push. I pushed to the point where she was like, stop pushing, I need to get dressed, the baby's coming, the head is right there, blah, 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 whatever. So she gets ready right away, and she comes and she sits, and she's like, oh my God, like, she's like, you're such a good pusher, and I expect you to be a good pusher. I was like, hell yeah, I'm a good pusher. I need to get her out of me now. I start pushing, and she's like, she goes to my husband, she's like, the head is right there, do you want to feel it? And my husband's like, sure. He just puts his hand inside of my thing, inside of my hoo-ha, and he feels the baby's head or whatever. It was literally like 3 pushes, and she was out. And the last push was me throwing up. So I'm here like, my husband was here, my mom was here. I'm like, bleh. She comes out the last push, and she puts her on me. And my husband's crying, my mom is crying, and all I remember saying was, this is why I had so much heartburn, because baby girl has so much hair. And then I just started crying. And they just left her there, and it was the most beautiful experience ever. Like, all of that, and I'm crazy enough to do it again. It was intense. So they left her there, Then my husband cut the umbilical cord. They weighed her. I delivered the placenta. You have to deliver that too. You got to push that thing out. And then they put her back, and my daughter was a beautiful 6 pounds, 6 ounces, and 19 inches long. And they just left her there. And my husband did skin to skin, and my mother-in-law came in, and my mom was there, and they took pictures with her. And you know, while they're sewing me up, she teared me in 2 places, and it was disgusting. After, you know, having to pee, they give you a little spray bottle and a little thingy to pee. But all in all, as crazy as it was, I'm obviously doing it all over again. And you know, people will say that I'm crazy, and people might not believe me, but I truly believe that God allowed my grandma to be there. And after, a couple weeks after, maybe like a month or 2 after, I'm in my aunt's house, and I'm talking to her about the experience. And I told her, I was like, there was a man there, and I don't know who the man was. And she comes out, and she shows me a picture, and it was my grandfather. And I've never met my grandfather before, and I just started bawling, and she started bawling, and we're just hugging each other, and she's like, God allowed, you know, mama and papa to be there with you to help you. And I just was like, I can't believe that that's something that even happened. You know, my grandmother has been dead for years now. She passed away when I was in the 7th grade, and I've never met my grandfather. I don't know, I'm getting emotional. It was just such a surreal and beautiful experience, you know, that clearly, like I said before, I'm doing it again. And I think I'm gonna do it maybe one more time after this one. But it's crazy. So, you know, yeah, that is my labor and delivery story. And it's crazy. It was painful. It was all over the place. I felt like I was gonna die. But it brought me the biggest joy of my life. You know, my daughter is amazing. My daughter is my everything. And I'm so thankful that God gave me every single bit of strength that I needed that day to bring her into this world. So I hope I didn't scare anyone with this video. But you guys asked for it, so but yeah, I hope you guys like this video. I hope that it touches you. I hope if there's anyone that has a similar story, you know, if they saw dead people, they saw any relatives or whatever, let me know in the comment section below. I know that someone already told me in my DMs, because like I did speak about it earlier in my Insta stories. Someone did tell me, they're like, you know what, you're not the only one. This happened to my sister. She said that she saw a person who clearly we didn't see, but she saw. So, you know, God sends his angels to help us. And I don't know if it's the anesthesia, the epidural, what it is, but we see them. So yeah, I'm just very thankful that my grandma was there and my grandfather. But yeah, so yeah, that's the video, that's the story. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I love you guys. Until next video, bye.